Good evening. What's happening, everybody? My name is Michael Rutherford. My iPhone just clipped 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm happy to host this evening's Prove It. We're calling this the Prove It Proof Call. And I want to keep the call to about 20 minutes. I'm usually the long-winded one, so I'm going to try to keep my part of it as brief as possible. And just give you a quick introduction to Prove It, the company, the brand, our product, Keto OS. We have 6 different people that are going to share their experiences on the product, why they dig it, why they like it, and I guess really why the heck you should care as to why they're sharing. So we've got 6 incredibly qualified people to kind of give you the basics, both from their perspective of what they do for a living, a few of them, and then also just what their experience is. I will tell you on the front end of the call, nothing that we're going to talk about tonight is making claims of medical claims of any kind. We're not prescribing anything at all. This is simply just sharing some experiences and some user experiences of people that have been on Keto OS, some of them a handful of days, some of them a handful of weeks. So happy to have you on the call. Again, my name is Michael. I'm from San Diego. It's my pleasure to host. You're on the call because somebody that's a part of this Prove It Nation, this Prove It community, wanted to introduce you to our product. That's the long and short of it. We have a product called Keto OS. It stands for Ketone Operating System. And we opened up about 3 months ago in a private preview and allowed people to experience pure therapeutic ketones for the very first time. Our product is essentially an exogenous ketone supplement. It comes in a powder form. It tastes like an orange creamsicle. It's the cost of a pint of Haagen-Dazs every day, or the cost of a sugary, carby, toxic Starbucks. Not very expensive, $3-4 a day. And it delivers an exogenous ketone right to the body. Ketones may or may not be something you're familiar with. If you've ever heard of the Atkins diet, the goal of that diet was supposed to be more of a higher fat, lower carb lifestyle of diet. And if you starve the body of glucose, which is traditionally carbs and sugar, the liver will produce ketones so you don't die. In other words, when somebody says their body's a fat-burning machine, it means they're in ketosis. If you've seen Castaway, Naked and Afraid, Survivor, or ever heard of some wild story of somebody stranded for days and days or weeks and weeks without food and they don't die, that process is known as ketosis. So there's only 2 ways the body will ever have ketones. It's starvation or diet, or our product. Endogenous ketones means your liver produced them in the absence of glucose, and it's a defense mechanism to keep the body moving. Ketones are a fuel source, happens to be preferred by the human brain, the heart, many parts of the body, the muscles. Ketones are an incredible fuel source. The problem is they're hard to get. Yes, you can produce them yourself. I've done it before, but you just don't ever eat carbs or sugar ever. Do about 70 or 80% of your caloric intake from fat and have a little bit of protein, and your body will produce ketones. You'll feel like Superman or Superwoman because ketones as a fuel source give you crazy mental clarity, energy, appetite suppression, and many, many other really cool benefits, some of which you'll hear from some of the speakers. But the only way to ever experience them is to do what our ancestors did, the Paleo Man, Jesus' buddies, the people who built the pyramids. They would have spent most of their life in a state of ketosis because there wasn't a Cold Stone, a Starbucks, a Which, or a Ralph's grocery store in every corner like there is today. So there wasn't food readily available. So they would have eaten a lot of food, and then for days and days or weeks and weeks, their body would have lived on that food in a state of ketosis with unbelievable energy, mental clarity, and the ability to function physically and mentally at a high level. Today, as of a few months ago, we've introduced the world's first exogenous ketone supplement. It tastes amazing, and within 30 to 60 minutes of you drinking it, you can take a urinalysis test and go from negative ketones to positive ketones, which is incredibly powerful because for the first time, you get the benefits of ketones without the starvation or the deprivation diet. So tonight's call is in no way, shape, or form meant to give you a full-blown deep dive education on ketones and the research. You can do that on a different time. There's a ton of information on our website, which you can get a link to from whoever invited you to this call once we're done. But this is really designed to just give you an idea, a little bit of a cross-section of the types of people that are getting experiences and benefits from our product. So I want to just start right at the top. Stan, if you're on, I'm happy to have you. Stan has spent many, many years in his entire career as an internal medicine physician, has also gotten personal experience from the product, both from Keto OS, the product, and also more of a higher fat, lower carb eating lifestyle. So Stan, if you're on, just kind of share with us what you've done in your career, what you've seen in medicine, and then why you got so excited about this product, if you don't mind.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be on here. I do work in a hospital. In fact, I'm finishing up my notes right now, and I spend my days taking care of people who have had the end effects, the end organ effects of what type 2 diabetes does to the body. And so I've seen this many, many years. I personally got interested in the idea of a high-fat, low-carb diet back in 2001. I was actually on a mission to discredit Dr. Atkins and thought that there was nothing, that it was a fraudulent diet. And so, but then I decided to actually read the book. I was very impressed and decided to try the diet. I was very successful at the diet. But the problem was that it was hard to maintain, and at the time it was not perfected like the new Atkins book right now that you can get, that Stephen Finney and his cohorts have put together. So a lot has happened and changed in this whole process. But the person that sponsored me into this just kept bugging me, and I had very little interest because physicians are supposed to be very skeptical of any nutritional product, and that's me. I have enjoyed the benefits of some nutritional products, but very selectively, and it has to have scientific validation. So when I was introduced to this with skepticism, I was intrigued by the fact that you could get into ketosis within an hour, something that it takes quite a while to do if you're doing a pretty strict Atkins or ketogenic diet. So that was what was intriguing to me. And the fact is, I did feel the effects of appetite suppression right away. But I did not get the immediate effects of the energy and the mental clarity. That took a little while to come, and I had a couple of weeks where I didn't feel great on it, and so, but I stuck with it. And that's the thing, everyone who's ever started this and has any trouble with it, stick with it. Once you get into it, it is really good. I've actually lost 8 pounds my first 8 weeks, and then 2 pounds a week the last 3 weeks, or a little bit more than that. So 11 weeks, 15 pounds. But I'm one that believes in slow weight loss, and I feel like I can control this and do this as rapidly or as slowly as I want to, and still not be a deprivation diet. So this has science behind it. The U.S. government used this on Navy SEALs, the way I understand it. It has a patent pending through University of South Florida with some of the best doctors behind this. So I'm very happy to be part of this and highly recommend this product. Thank you.
Hey, Stan, it's a pleasure to have you on the call. I didn't know the background of the discrediting of the Atkins diet. That's pretty cool, and I appreciate you sharing that and always appreciate your time. So the next person I want to have share is Juliana from Texas. Very pumped to, first of all, talk to you on the phone. We've only Facebook chatted a little bit. I hope to meet you in Dallas this week. Juliana is an IFBB pro bodybuilder and bikini competitor, is a trainer, a coach, has been in the fitness industry for, I think, 10 or 12 years, has got two degrees both in psychology and nutrition. I mean, she just doesn't talk about fitness. She is fitness. If you've ever seen a picture of her online, you go, oh, snap. So happy to have you on. Juliana, kind of share your experience on Keto OS, your background a little bit, and your thoughts.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And the person that introduced me to Ketone OS is Ricky Durant. And it's a little funny story on how that happened. Ricky actually sent me a message on Facebook. And, you know, a lot of times you kind of are a little weary about getting messages from, you know, just somebody you don't even know on Facebook. And
some random dude.
Absolutely. But, you know, it was cool. His profile picture was him and his wife. So, and I saw that he was trying to promote something. So I gave it a chance, saw the videos, and I thought, wow, this is some interesting stuff. So he actually made a trip down to Houston from Dallas and on his busy schedule made a stop to come see me at the gym I work at and, you know, gave me a sample, which was interesting because I was actually doing my leg workout that afternoon. So he gave me the sample, and within the hour I started my workout, and by far had to be one of the best leg workouts I had. I mean, in my off season, I get to eat a lot and I get to, put on a little more weight than usual. And when I started with the Ketone OS for the next, I got to use a couple of samples, I noticed it suppressed my appetite. But not only did it suppress my appetite, my cravings were gone. Which is a big deal for me because as a competitor in my off season, of course, I'm gonna, I want to eat some stuff that I don't get to eat half of the time during the year. But it definitely was helpful in my sweet cravings, and but that's not the only thing. As a nutritionist, I don't really push a lot of products. So when it was doing exactly what Ricky said it was going to do, and from the films and from the calls I was listening to, I thought, wow, this is amazing. I understand what ketosis is, and I understand what happens with the body and the fuel sources and the benefits of burning fats versus just the glucose. I didn't hit a wall in my workouts. Even today, I felt like I could keep going. So the experience with it alone was enough for me to just start telling my clients about it, telling everybody in the gym, and even today, if you go to my page, you see one of a member of the gym, Tony Fortunato. She's had a great experience with just her first sample. So I definitely love the way it, mental focus, clarity, but this isn't even why I know they're even promoting this. I know all of the reasons in the future for degenerative diseases, and I know we can't make any medical claims, but that alone gets me excited. But if we can put this into the hands of people that are struggling with food cravings and weight loss, and they hit a wall and they just give up, this is definitely something that is going to help them in their fight, because it is what it is. It's a fight. Everybody struggles to get down into a healthy weight and to stop reaching for seconds or reaching for those cravings. So I really think this is a great product that I know my clients and hopefully many more people will see that it does what it says it does, and it's one of the healthier things I would put in my body.
Well, I love that. One I wrote down, it curbs your sweet cravings, because for me, I'm a late night macaroni and cheese eater. I'm a late night brownie and ice cream eater. I mean, just the worst stuff you could eat. And those desires, are just mitigated. They just go away with the presence of ketones. And, I'd love to hear you talk for 20 minutes just on your experience, your clients, the different types of people that are using the product. A lot of times people want to marginalize this as a weight loss product, but you just talked about the increased gains in the gym, the fact that you're not as tired, you can go longer. Want to make another comment on that at all, or elaborate on that at all?
Oh, well, yeah, because especially, being on my feet all day, and I know everybody has a different type of lifestyle, different type of job that they have, but when you're going all day, especially, and I'll go ahead and emphasize on my competitors who have a full-time job that don't work in a gym and have to wake up in the morning, take care of the kids, go to work all day, find the energy just to go to the gym to do their workouts. This, I know, is definitely going to be a benefit to them, and it's going to allow them to really push harder in their workouts and get to their goals that they're trying to have for their competition. So that right there, I just put about 5 samples in one of my competitors' hands, and I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say about it.
I love it. Well, I know you're crushing it. I can't wait to meet you in Dallas. It's going to be super fun, so thank you for sharing. Hey, JT, can you hear me okay? Are you on? JT, can you hear me? If so, you probably called into the wrong line. That's okay. Check your text. I texted you the correct pin. Call in on that pin because I can't hear you. Shane Monahan, are you on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yes, sir. I love it. Hey, Shane, good to see you, man. I'm happy to have you on the line. So
you too,
you and I have a mutual friend you've known for years. I've known for years, James Rice.
Absolutely.
50-year-old dude, super physically fit guy. One of the first people I took this to, and he goes, dude, if this does what you say, this is going to be a big product. A lot of people are going to get a lot of benefits from this. And he goes, in fact, I want to bounce it off my buddy Shane. He's a massage therapist, bodyworks guy, been in that space for a long time, works with a lot of the Chargers, the Padres, professional athletes, little old ladies, a little bit of everything in between. So kind of share with us what you thought, your perspective, the benefits of ketones, and, what you've seen so far.
No, I've seen a lot of things across the board, and just trying to kind of piggyback on to what the rest of the speakers have said this evening. I really was impressed. And at first, when Jim actually produced or presented this to me, and he asked me what I knew about ketones and ketosis, and in my field, I'm not a nutritionalist, but as far as working with high-level athletes and people that kind of earn a check with their body, You have to kind of know what they're putting in their body, what they should be and shouldn't be. So he asked me what I knew about ketones and ketosis. Of course, I told him. And he said, well, what if there was a product that could actually cause ketosis to happen? Would you think that would be of some value? And I remember being at the first meeting with you and Dustin Swafford and the rest of us, and me and Dustin looking at each other going, dude, I mean, that's a gold mine if you could actually create that. Well, it's real. It's not a mythical unicorn we're looking for. This is a real product that does real things. So in my experience, once I found out about this product, I know several different ways that it can be utilized. And like you said, the whole weight loss thing, I don't even talk to people about that because that's something that's expected to happen. But there's so many different things like the focus and clarity. But one of the main things for me, Mike, and especially in my field, what I do working with these high-level athletes is inflammation, okay? Because you're going to get inflammation, and people get that either through post-op, just moving around all day, of course, working out, doing massage, that actually causes an inflammatory process. And then furthermore, just like you said, I work with the Chargers and the Padres, and for those full contact type sports cause a lot of inflammation as well. Well, this product, a higher or elevated blood ketone level will actually help to reduce inflammation in the body. Not only that, but it also reduces or increases gabapentin, which increases flexibility, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But the inflammation part was what got me. I was like, well, if I could use this on my athletes and they can get the benefits for that, then I wonder what that would do. So I gave it to them, and they tried it out. And what it has happened is these guys are able to train twice as long, twice as hard, and with probably about half, I would say, of the repercussive effects of inflammation because of that effect. So what that amounts to is these guys, after they play a game and they're doing what's equivalent to like getting in a car wreck once a week, they take this product, say, right after a game or the day after, and the inflammatory processes are way less. So when I work on them, they're feeling better on a Monday or Tuesday instead of a Thursday or Friday, and here comes another game again. So they're actually having a better quality of life in between those times. And taking it even further, I worked on some of my postdocs. I work, like you said, little old ladies and people that just spend too much time behind a computer, people that have had pre and post-op type stuff, surgeries, fusions, knee replacements, things like that. My mom is one of those, okay? And she needs a knee replacement, okay? But she wasn't able to get around and walk. She's having a lot of hard times just being able to deal with pain itself, let alone do anything in her life that she found was quality. So I asked her to try the product out, just wanted her to try it to get her take on it. Where she doesn't really she doesn't jump on any of those fad diets or any of that kind of stuff. So she took the product for about 4 or 5 days. Now here's the deal, that she only had about 4 or 5 days worth, and she ordered it. We had that little hiccup a while back as far as the product being there. So she didn't realize what it did for her until she didn't have it. And I would challenge anybody out there, too, to try that out. You don't really understand what this product does until you're actually using it. And then if you don't have it for like 2 or 3 days, you start making a list of all the things that they actually do, and subjectively, you're actually able to see it. And so she didn't have any pain in her knee, and she realized that. So when she got back on, she's on a treadmill every day. She's riding a bike. She's just climbing the stairs. She's doing what she wants to do in life, going with my dad and going on walks and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, she still needs a knee replacement, but the pain, the inflammation has gone down to the point where she can actually have a better quality of life. And that's an extreme situation. But if you're taking somebody that's fairly healthy and applying that to their life, this thing can make you limitless as far as the things that you're able to do physically and on a mental level as well.
I love it. I appreciate you sharing that. It's so funny you go from a 24-year-old cornerback for the Chargers or whatever age these guys are. They're the elite, pinnacle, physical specimens of human beings. Like, talk about human optimization, and then you talk about your mom. And they're both taking the same product for 2 different reasons. And I just love that, and I appreciate you sharing, Shane. JT, there's still, I think you're on now.
I'm here, Mike. Can you hear me?
Nice, dude. Yeah, JT's a good friend of mine. Spent some time with him out in Missouri. Just share with us real quick. Look, you're a business guy. You're a mayor of the city that you live in, the city manager, so you're all over the place, deal with a lot of people, real estate investor, developer. Just kind of share with us what you like about the product, what your experience has been.
And more importantly than those other things, I also have 4 children, so like everyone else, I'm pretty busy. But no, I'm an endurance athlete. I like to do ultra marathons and long bike rides, and I actually have a certified family herbalist. But I'm kind of health conscious, and
whenever I saw the product on Facebook, somebody posted on there, and I searched them out and said, you know what? I know what ketosis is. I know what the benefits of whenever I exhaust my glucose on a long run or exercise, and I know that runner's high I get. I know that benefit. I want to try this product. And when I took it, it exceeded the things that I thought it would. I mean, it actually changed my mindset of what I understood about my diet and my energy source. I mean, personally, I have improved energy, mental clarity. I wasn't trying it for weight loss like the other. We talked about that. You know, you can sell this retail weight loss product all day long, but I mean, I did lose over 20 pounds in 3 weeks, and that wasn't my goal. You know, it improved my body mass index. I've had better breathing when I go on my rides or my runs. It improved. Last week I had 2 personal records on a cycle ride that I did. I mean, powering up those hills, I don't have lactic acid buildup. My muscle soreness isn't there. I have less fatigue. I mean, it's just amazing because you know, I go out with these other athletes and I'm riding and you know, they're like, what is this keto? What is this stuff you're doing? And you know, they're trying to figure it out. But whenever I'm blowing them away on a hill or a climb or something like that, it just, you know, the product speaks for itself. I could just shut up right now, let somebody take the product, and that's all it does to me.
Prove it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all about being better, and I'm just amazed. I mean, it's far exceeded what I even thought it would do. I mean, I take 1 a day is what I do, and if I'm going to work out, maybe I'll take it 30 minutes before a workout, and or even put it in my water bottle. It's just, you know, it's a great thing that I've experienced, and regardless of my personal benefits and my personal results from it, Mike, I got to tell you what I really enjoy is today, you know, seeing people that I've shared this with. I mean, it's you know, it's almost like sharing the gospel with people. I mean, I share this product with people, and I had, you know, a guy today post he's lost 20 pounds and 3 inches in 4 weeks. I've got another guy who's lost 20 pounds in 21 days, and this guy that lost 3 inches off his waist in 20 pounds, he's a guy that the doctor's recommending a surgery for weight loss, and he has to have some way to prove that he's going to lose weight over the next 6 months, otherwise, or try to lose weight, I should say, otherwise his insurance isn't going to pay for it. So he said, I'll try this product. We'll see what it does. I said, you do this for 6 months, you're going to lose the weight. You're not going to need that surgery. I mean, it's just amazing, these people. I mean, that's the benefit. The most rewarding part for me is how I see the results in others. And, you know, for me, if it did nothing else other than that, that's a testimony for me. It's just helping other people improve themselves and be better, whatever their it is. And that's the thing when I talk to people, you know, what is your it? If it's the inflammation, I had a guy that had knee surgery, and it's my brother-in-law had knee surgery and had pins in his knees. He was taking it. He thought he might want to lose some weight, and he, like you said, when you go off the product, you realize what you didn't have before. You don't know what you got until it's gone. He went off the product for a couple of days and realized, you know what, my knee's hurting me again. It wasn't hurting when I was on the product. So all I can say to anyone listening right now or on the phone is let the product speak for itself. Give out the samples. Let people try it. Let them go a few days, and then when they're, you know, whenever they realize what it's doing for them, like you said, make a list, and it'll sell itself. I mean, it's a great thing. So that's all I got to say. I just hope that's enough. So.
Hey, no, I appreciate that, and you know, I can tell some of the people that you're referencing. I remember meeting them when I was in Missouri. I can't wait to see him again in another month or 2 months. Which is going to be really, really fun. So I appreciate you sharing. Hey, Cindy from Minnesota, are you on the call? Cindy, if you're on, give me a holler. Okay, we'll catch you next call. Sorry. Tammy, how about you? Bring us home.
I'm here.
I'm happy to have you on. How are you? How you feeling?
I am fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share my story. I am not an athlete. I'm not a doctor. So I think I will represent the middle-aged moms of the group. Maybe they can relate to my story. I was introduced by a friend, a mutual friend of ours, Michael Quinn, and I saw his before and after pictures on Facebook, and I immediately messaged him and said, what are you doing? And so he invited me over to his mother's house, who happens to be my best friend, and we met with you, Michael, and Dustin. And I have to tell you, what I do for a living is I manage a medical clinic that focuses on holistic, alternative, and functional practices. And we have a medical doctor, an osteopath, PhDs, chiropractic kinesiologists, naturopaths, and a Chinese medicine guy. And I tell you this so that everybody understands that I'm familiar with therapies and products that are on the cutting edge. And the keto definitely piqued my interest. So I threw my credit card at Quinn, bought samples from him, and started on the next day. And I call my time before I started keto, I call that the Fat Tammy time. So Fat Tammy would drag her body out of bed at 8 o'clock, and my body would hurt from the inflammation, and I was tired all day long. Now I'm up between 6 and 6:30, and I don't hurt. Fat Tammy managed her stress by eating about a pound of chocolate a day, and that's really quite embarrassing to admit, but yes, it was about a pound of chocolate a day. And then at night I would snack on Nutella and bananas. So I was getting a lot of sugar a day. On day 2, those cravings were gone. So now I snack on cheese and cucumbers and good stuff. So Fat Tammy used to get the afternoon slump, and I'd eat more and more chocolate, and now there's no slump. Fat Tammy would go home and go right up to the bed and stay there, and I would ignore the best husband in the whole world, and now I go home and pay attention to that handsome man. Fat Tammy was just not a happy person, and now I'm a very happy person. And because of the Keto OS and eating the way that I am eating, I have saved, and I don't think anybody realizes this or talks about it, but I've saved hundreds of dollars a month on groceries. I bet I save at least $100 a month on snacks and sugar and candy. And that's remarkable, I think. My energy's up, my inflammation and cravings are down, and I've lost 23 pounds since July. So after a couple weeks of starting taking the product, my boss looked at me and he says, "Wow, look at you, you've got some energy." And I just smiled and nodded and said, yeah, I know. And then he started to notice the weight loss. So I brought him into the office and I said, "Look, you need to find out about this and learn about this product." Well, needless to say, he's bought it. The center carries it. We have it in our supplement department, and everybody in the office is on it. And it's always talked about, a topic of discussion all day, every day. So I'm just grateful that Quinn shared that picture on Facebook and told me a story. And I can't hardly believe it works. I just have to tell you, the mental clarity I get a lot from people. And one of my people that is on it said, this is a little embarrassing probably to admit, but she said her libido is back. And I thought, that's awesome. So it's made all the difference in the world for me and my husband, and I'm just so grateful that it was shared with me.
Well, I appreciate you sharing. It's so funny. I posted a picture. I'm down almost 50 pounds. My knee pain and back pain is all but gone. I had a hard time putting my newborn baby to sleep, which if you've ever tried to do sitting down doesn't work very well, or sweating profusely. So I got on the program, got on the product, started cutting my carbs and sugar and increasing my healthy fats, and just started living intelligently, and I just lost weight. I just got healthy. So a friend of mine, Quinn, who I've known for 10 years, messages me and he goes, "Dude, I look like your before picture." So we go meet. I meet him at Costco. I gave him 5 samples. Within a day, he signs up, gets the product. Within a month, he's down 25 or 30 pounds, gaining muscle. Says, "Can you come over to my parents' house?" Dustin and I go to his parents' house. Tammy is sitting in the room wanting to learn. And now here we are. She's speaking on a call, crushing it. Doctors are hopping into the conversation. I mean, it's really exciting, like JT said, the satisfaction that you get sharing this with people and then watching it completely change their life right in front of you. I mean, you'll watch people, Mitch Newman from LA, he goes, "Michael, it's remarkable in 30 to 60 minutes you watch people change right in front of you just with one serving." So any last thoughts, Tammy, real fast, and then we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, can we just talk about Quinn for a minute?
Go for it.
Well, you and I both know that Quinn, and I love him and he knows that and he's probably listening, but that he was grouchy. The man was always grouchy. And it was difficult sometimes to be around him because he just always had this negativity. And as we sat in his parents' house, his mom looks over to me and she just says, "It's a miracle." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "He is different. He is a different man now than he was even, 2 weeks ago when he was here." And I looked at him, and I've talked to him almost daily since that time, and he's a completely different man. Would you agree?
I definitely would, and I've got a buddy of mine, Brian Miche, who's on the phone. He would say the same thing. His attitude, his fuse. A lot of people are short fused. There's all these kinds of things that you can't really illustrate in a photograph. But, those are the types of things people notice on you, the amount of, how big your smile is, the pep in your step, your overall feeling, your equilibrium, your well-being. I mean, that's the really cool stuff. So, Tammy, I'm happy that you shared, and I can't wait to hang the next time we get a chance to.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Guys, tonight's call, and we're going to wrap up here in 60, maybe 120 seconds. Just want to say a couple things. Tonight's call, and thanks for everybody that shared. Tonight's call, again, is not meant to, play doctor, although we had some on the phone. It's not meant to play doctor. It's just to give you a little bit of an idea of what Keto OS is all about. And the the purpose of PRÜVIT is to be the world's first evidence-based supplement company, because nothing that we talk about can't be, everything we talk about can be proven. We call the company PRÜVIT. I had a buddy of mine go, "You're kidding me. You're so confident in your product that you named the company PRÜVIT?" And I said, "Well, yeah, man, it's a challenge. It's about, Tammy challenging Tammy. Like, God built her to burn two fuel sources, ketones and glucose, but because of the chocolate she was eating, the carbs and sugar she was eating, her body wouldn't ever produce ketones, just like some of the speakers previously referenced. And without ketones, you're nothing more than a glucose machine, kind of like a gasoline car versus a hybrid. We have a dual fuel source. You can flip on that switch anytime you want. You just got to be excited to starve yourself. Well, Keto OS allows you for the first time to exogenously put ketones right into your system, right into your bloodstream, and you can prove it. You can do a urinalysis in 30 to 60 minutes or a finger prick blood test to measure the presence of ketones in the body, which is pretty radical. Nothing like that's ever been able to be done. So as a company, our entire mission is to help people hack their bodies. I mean, almost like a DIY bio, like a do-it-yourself biohacking experiment. It's awesome because today's consumers are smarter. I think today's marketplace, although Starbucks and McDonald's and Cold Stone and Coca-Cola are still really big businesses, you're starting to watch people wake up. Documentaries like Fed Up and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead and all these other documentaries are starting to rattle people to go, wow, fat is not bad, carbs and sugar are bad. And as a company, our entire purpose is to ask people, what's your it? Like, what do you want out of life? What do you want to be better? Better sleep, better energy, better body. What is it? Better quality of life, better relationships, maybe it's better income, better business. Have a blast with this. If somebody introduced you to the call, there's really only one reason. They feel like you need to know what the heck we're doing. Doesn't matter if you're on the call as an entrepreneur. I think people are smart. You already know that a lot of people will buy this product if you introduce it to them. So there's a couple conversations taking place, which is how do I get the product? Touch base with the person that invited you to the call. They'll get you a link, and you can get some product. You can sample it. You can buy a lot of it, whatever you want. The other conversation is no one in your town, your city, your company, your neighborhood, your family, your household, your industry, nobody that you know knows this exists yet. Everyone you know wants more energy, better sleep, and a better quality of life, and to be skinnier and healthier, flat out. So have a blast with this. If this isn't fun for you, you're doing it wrong. We'll continue to do calls just like this one throughout the week. Many of us are headed to Dallas, Texas, where our lab is, and going to get a first chance view of how the entire operation runs. So we're happy to have shared a little bit of time with you. Very thrilled that we could have a lineup like we did. Stan and Juliana, JT, Shane, Tammy. Happy that you shared. I think Cindy was on, but muted. So we're happy to have shared some time with you. Have an incredible rest of your Tuesday evening. This call was recorded, so we'll make it available to those of you that would like it. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.